19, 2000. Pope John Paul II then said that we are in fact in the midst of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 3.
And another sign in the heavens. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns. And on his heads 7 diadems.
On January 25, 1983, NASA's infrared astronomical satellite, IRAS, was launched. On January 30, 1983, an article appeared in the New York Times, reporting on the IRAS mission. Clues Get Warm in Search for Planet X. By John Noble Wilford. Something out there, beyond the farthest reaches of the known solar system, seems to be tugging at Uranus and Neptune. Some gravitational force keeps perturbing the 2 giant planets, causing irregularities in their orbits. The force suggests a presence far away and unseen. A large object that may be long-sought Planet X. On December 31, 1983, a front-page article appeared in Washington Post, reporting on what the IRAS has discovered. A heavenly body, possibly as large as the giant planet Jupiter, and possibly so close to Earth that it would be a part of the solar system, has been found in the direction of the constellation Orion, by an orbiting telescope, aboard the U.S. infrared astronomical satellite. An article appeared in the September 10, 1984, edition of U.S. News & World Report. Last year, IRAS detected an object of intense speculation. For hundreds of years, before the active search for Planet X, astronomers were observing perturbations in the orbits of the outer planets. This caused a flurry of activity, going into the early 1980s, in which there were calculations by Van Flandern and others, estimating the approximate size of a planet, an extraplanet in the solar system, that would account for these perturbations. He was remarkably close to the actual size of the 12th planet, which is inbound. They launched IRAS, in 1983, to search for Planet X, and they found it. They located it by infrared. During 1983-1984, IRAS produced observations of a 10th planet, so robust that it made one of the astronomers on the project say, "All that remains is to name it," from which point, the information has become curiously guarded. NASA then stated that tiny differences in the weight of the outer planets explained it all. If this were the case, why would all those astronomers, for all those centuries, be confused and notice the perturbations? They would have calculated the weight to explain the perturbation, to begin with. Of course, we are being fooled and lied to. Wormwood prophecy and the coming end times has for centuries been a privy knowledge in the Vatican inner circles, and many secret societies. The signs were known, described in great detail, though not much certainty about the timing. A small group of individuals, within the U.S. government and NASA, became aware of the pending pole shift, shortly after Roswell accident, in 1947, when the contact with the U.S. government was made. They were informed about the 12th planet approach, and the approximate time frame, but said nothing, as they had not located it themselves. At first, there was incredulous disbelief, and the argument that aliens must be lying to them, for all manner of dark reasons. This announcement was viewed with skepticism, as descriptions of the approach and orbit, given to them, did not fit with human astronomical understanding. But this soon changed. By that time, the signs that alien ambassadors warned of, started to manifest. Changes have already begun, and are known to your scientists and meteorologists. Violent storms, unusual weather patterns, severe and long-lasting droughts, increased frequency of hurricanes, torrential rains, and a general warming of the planet. Zeta Talk. Since about the end of 1970s, there has been a marked upswing in average global temperatures that is attributed to human activity. It is estimated that the average temperature on the globe has increased by 0.67 Celsius degrees over the last century, with most of the increase occurring since the 1970s. This is cast in the category of global warming. Yet, the cause is uncertain. Which of you, as citizens or even as scientists, could state the cause with certainty. All attempts to explain the changes, based on global warming from the greenhouse effect, will run into snags, as the weather will refuse to be predictable. The reason lies deep within the Earth's core, an area the meteorologists refuse to consider, and thus, their predictions on the atmosphere will never be based on the right parameters. We are telling you that the Earth itself will be warmer, and this affects weather patterns. Zeta Talk. Another change, to which one could point to, is a continuous rise in global sea levels, measured as few inches of rise, worldwide. This is not entirely due to polar melt, but also due to the heating of the Earth's oceans. The world's oceans have experienced a net warming of 1.5 to 3 degrees Celsius over the past 50 years. Scientists also link warming temperatures to significant deterioration of mountain glaciers, ice sheets in Greenland and the Antarctic, and polar sea ice in the Arctic, that has been observed since 1979. If we look at the strength of the Earth's magnetic field, since about 1840, we can see a sharp downward trend. Projecting this forward in time, would suggest a total lack of magnetic field for the Earth, in about 1,500–1,600 years. It is also known from studies of the magnetization of minerals in ancient clay pottery, that Earth's magnetic field was approximately twice as strong in Roman times as it is now. Other data collected indicates that some 3–4 thousand years ago the magnetic field strength was similar to present. It is yet another sign of Planet X's presence in the vicinity. Changes in the churning movement of Earth's liquid outer core are bringing increasing diffusion of the magnetic field, causing wandering compasses, malfunctioning instruments and crashing planes.
One of the surest signs of Planet X's approach is an unprecedented increase in earthquakes, as observed since the beginning of 1980s. This, surely, cannot be attributed to the greenhouse effect.
The increase in deep earthquakes is a particularly telling clue. Deep quakes cause little damage on the surface, but indicate plate adjustments at the most fundamental level. They are extremely significant, as a symptom heralding the coming pole shift, and more importantly, unexplainable, in any other context. Yet another sign, is a slowing of the Earth rotation around its axis.
Originally, the second was defined as 1/86,400th of a mean solar day, and this estimate was applicable ever since its introduction in 1750.
But in 1956, International Committee for Weights and Measures had to redefine the second, because it had become recognized that the Earth's observed rotation is not sufficiently uniform as a standard of time, due to general slowing down of the Earth's rotation.
Since 1958, the base of global timekeeping has been UTC, Universal Coordinated Time, calculated using a worldwide network of atomic clocks. While the Earth is rotating slower and slower over time, the atomic clocks are based on radiation from a cesium-133 atom, which is a constant. These atomic clocks are periodically checked to synchronize with one master clock, in Boulder, Colorado, which is in the hands of the U.S. Naval Observatory. The whole world uses it as a precise time standard reference. Currently, the rate of rotation slowing is estimated as, roughly 1 second per year. This means a delay develops between the two, actual observed rotation, and atomic time. Atomic clocks have to be constantly slowed to stay in sync with physical rotation. In 1972, it was decided by international agreement that in order to synchronize the atomic clocks with the Earth's rotation, global atomic time will be occasionally added an extra second, the leap second. Over time, leap seconds have to be added at an ever-increasing rate, reflecting the Earth's progressive slowing trend. Per the Zetas, this slowing is a forerunner of the actual stop in the Earth's rotation that will occur at the time of passage. Of course it was known by the elite, as they have been warned about this, and prepared, inserting additional seconds into the timekeeping, and putting out ridiculous explanations for the public.
An article in the December 13, 1984 Washington Post, reported that the Earth had experienced a sudden unexpected slowdown in rotation. The article pointed at gravitational action of the Sun and Moon, and the braking action of tides and atmosphere, as the most significant factors in slowing of the Earth's spin. 90% of these variations are caused by changes in the wind, Dr. Gene O. Dickey, a geophysicist at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, said in an interview. If the atmosphere is speeding up, Earth is slowing down. How is this slowing rotation possible from a distance that Planet X is at, before making its passage? Yet, slowing has started. The approach of Planet X has disturbed magnetic equilibrium of the Earth's core, so that a few seconds of slowing per year are already occurring. The same as with weather and warming trends, this is at first so gradual and slight, as to be arguable. But where weather and warmer oceans will be arguable up to the end, a slowing rotation is not arguable. Due in no small part to the predicted and measurable slowing rate of the Earth rotation, which was announced at the start of the dialogue with this group in the U.S. government, their warnings gained credibility. The sighting of the inbound Planet X by the IRIS team, in 1983, at coordinates given, clinched this.
And another sign in the heavens. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns. And on his head 7 diadems.
They located it in 1983, after having searched for it for years, and have been watching and monitoring it in horror ever since. Setting up routine observation of the object, they soon found its path and characteristics, in line with descriptions given to them.
The 1983 Encyclopedia Britannica included a diagram that shows the path of the Pioneer 10 and 11 space probes. Incredibly, per the diagram, they were sent to get a triangulated fix on Planet X. The diagram shows Planet X as the 10th planet, at 4.7 billion miles. It also shows the Sun's binary twin, Dead Star, at 50 billion miles. The 12th planet is circling on a long elliptical orbit around the Sun, and its binary companion, a dark dead star, which lies at a distance of some 18.704 times the length from the Sun to Pluto. It takes approximately 3,657 years for the 12th planet to make a complete ellipse. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed for a short season. The beast that I saw, was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on earth shall wonder, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And another sign in the heavens. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns. And on his head 7 diadems. Men forget the days of the destroyer. Only the wise know where it went, and that it will return, in its appointed hour.
There is an interloper, in the solar system. It is inbound, coming in from the direction of Orion, proving what the ancient legends have told, affecting the outer planets, and roiling the Earth's core. At that point, 1983, this group's reaction turned primarily from discussions on whether it could be so, to be predominantly on what to do about it. The lockdown and cover-up of any discussion of Planet X ensued. The fraction inside the U.S. government, that were warned of the approach, were set about trying to protect themselves. Their first reaction was to save their own skins. The CIA was front and center in this regard, with the military close behind. 3 alternatives were worked out, and considered for the coming calamities. Alternative 1, implied establishing isolated underground complexes, for the members of the elite. Alternative 2, intended sculpting and reducing the Earth's population, to a select few. And Alternative 3, purported riding out the cataclysms, on another planet, such as Moon or Mars. All 3 alternatives were implemented to a certain extent, and those in charge of these plans today, are still hoping to succeed with them. Underground complexes, developed during the Cold War, 1950s and 60s, were deemed the best alternative at that time. United States government went under